Let me challenge you with something simple. Look at this sentence. The tall boy in the house ate the food on the table. You understand it instantly, but here is the real question. Do you actually know how your mind organizes this sentence? How does your brain know that the tall boy belongs together and not boy in the? There is an invisible structure behind every sentence you speak. Today, we are going to uncover that structure, step by step, using something called phrase structure and X-bar theory. By the end of this lecture, you will not just speak language, you will begin to see its architecture. In syntax, words do not exist in isolation. They group together into larger units called phrases, also known as constituents. Let us examine a few examples. The door, to the door, go to the door, very tall. Each of these is not just a random collection of words. They form meaningful units. Now consider this question: why does the door feel complete, but door the does not? This is the beginning of phrase structure. A sentence is made up of multiple layers of phrases. Consider this structure: the tall boy in the house ate the food on the table. This sentence is not flat. It is hierarchical. Inside it, you have a noun phrase, the tall boy, a prepositional phrase, in the house, a verb phrase, ate the food on the table. Now think carefully. If we remove in the house, does the sentence still make sense? Yes. That tells us something important about structure. To properly represent sentence structure, linguists use a model called X-bar theory. This theory helps us understand the hierarchical relationships between elements in a sentence. It answers questions like, what is the main element in a phrase? What elements depend on it? How are they organized? X-bar theory is not just about drawing trees, it is about understanding structure at a deeper level. Phrase structure rules are the foundation of how phrases are built. They are like formulas that generate structure. They show what must be present, obligatory elements, what can be added, optional elements. In other words, they tell us what is required and what is extra. Let me ask you, in the phrase, the tall boy, which part is absolutely necessary? Noun phrase structure, NP. A noun phrase follows this structure: NP right pointing arrow, det, AdjP plus, N, PP plus, CP. Let us break it down. Determiner, the, Adjective phrase, tall, very tall. Noun, boy. Prepositional phrase, in the house. Example, the very tall boy in the house. Now try this. Identify the noun in that phrase. That noun is the head. Verb phrase structure, VP. The verb phrase is more complex. VP right pointing arrow, AdvP plus, V, NP, NP, CP, AdvP plus, PP plus. This means, adverbs can appear before or after. A verb is required. Objects may be included. Example, quickly ate the food on the table. Now consider this. Can a verb phrase exist without a verb? Think carefully before you answer. Prepositional phrase, PP. The structure is simple. PP right pointing arrow P, NP. Example, in the house, on the table. A preposition always introduces a noun phrase. Now test yourself. In under the bridge, what is the preposition? Adjective phrase, AdjP, structure, AdjP right pointing arrow, adv, adjective. Example, very tall. The adverb modifies the adjective. Now consider, what happens if we remove very? Does the phrase still work? Yes. So which element is optional? Adverb phrase, AdvP, structure, AdvP right pointing arrow, AdvP, adv. This allows layering of adverbs. Example, very quickly. Now think about this. Why do we sometimes stack adverbs? What effect does it create in meaning? Sentence structure, TP. A full sentence can be represented as TP right pointing arrow NP, CPTVP. This means a subject, NP, a tense marker, T, a verb phrase, VP. Example, the boy is running. Now ask yourself, where is tense located in this sentence? In every phrase, one element is central. This is called the head. The head is obligatory. Determines the type of phrase. For example, in NP right pointing arrow noun is the head. In VP right pointing arrow verb is the head. Let me test you. In the tall boy, what is the head? Tree diagrams, visual structure. To represent structure, linguists use tree diagrams. These diagrams show relationships between elements. They reveal hierarchy, grouping, dependency. Without trees, structure remains abstract. With trees, it becomes visible. Terminology of trees. You must understand the following terms. Branch, a line connecting elements. Node, a point where branches meet. Root node, the top of the structure. Terminal node, the final elements, words. Label, the name of each node. Now reflect, why do branches never cross in a tree diagram? Structural relations. Tree structures show relationships such as dominance, hierarchy, dependency. This is how we understand which elements belong together. Now consider, in the boy in the house, does in the house modify boy or something else? This is structural interpretation. Today, you have moved beyond simply using language. You have begun to understand its internal structure. You now know that sentences are not flat. They are layered, organized, and rule-governed. But this raises a deeper question. If syntax explains structure, what explains meaning? That is where we go next. And when we get there, language will make even more sense than it does now.